tried to understand their place in the world and what makes them human. Through the centuries, we have learned to build great machines, to lift and bend, to forge and carry. But all of these have been created by the most highly developed, efficient, and superb machine of all, the human body. A light, flexible, yet strong framework driven by beautifully engineered organs and made up of billions of tiny cells. Each one of us has 10,000 times more cells in our body than there are people on this planet. No machine is as complex as this one. But without one simple ingredient, it would die: air. After an accident, the first aid is oxygen, the breath of life. Ancient Greeks believed the body had at its center a flame, burning food, creating warmth. And that we breathe to cool that flame, to stop it setting fire to the body. But it is our lungs that constantly take in life-giving oxygen the body cannot store, exchanging it for carbon dioxide. And their surface area is huge, spread out almost the size of a tennis court, breathing in and out 600 million breaths in a life, enough to fill a hot air balloon 400 times over. From the throat, the windpipe becomes two stems, which in turn subdivide into thousands of fine hair-like tubes. Each ends with a minute air sac to receive the oxygen and pass it straight into the blood. So vital is breathing to life that to expire has come to mean simply to die. An inspiration, genius. And it is genius that sets this machine apart from all others. Something exclusively human, believed by many to be the soul. And the windows of the soul? The eyes, the human camera. 2/3 of what is stored in the human brain is entered through the eyes. Sight is the body's chief sense, its guide, and its greatest guardian against predators. And just like a camera, the eyes have 3 distinct parts. A transparent outer covering, the cornea. Behind, a lens to receive light. And at the back, a screen, the retina, containing 127 million rods and cones, light-sensitive cells. Most rod cells work in dim light, seeing only black and white. In the dark, we have little need of color. But in bright light, cone cells suddenly flood our eyes with color vision. The eye is cleaned and disinfected by moving the lid across it, and we do it over 5,000 times a day, each time for 1/3 of a second. There is another effective cleansing process. Crying. Children do it more often than adults. The average 1-year-old does it at least twice every day, cleaning and sterilizing the eyes, fighting infection. And tears are an emotional cleansing too. Tears of sadness and tears of joy. Common cause of laughter? The discomfort of others. After sight, most information about the outside world reaches us through the ears. Sound. It has taken centuries to understand hearing and to appreciate the true power of the human ear. Learn to delight in the pleasure of sound, develop a taste for music, and revel in the rhythm of dance. Whatever the source, all sound begins with vibration.
It was July 25th of 2023. Undercover police officers in Dallas, Texas were parked in an unmarked car on El Centro Drive. They were watching a heavy-duty U-Haul that they believed to be stolen.
Sound waves
That's
enter
when
the ear and reach the
41-year-old Brian
all-important
Taylor
membrane
jumped in the cab and drove away.
Thin taut
Officers
drums
followed
the size
close
of your
behind him,
fingernail.
causing Ryan
Sound
to grow
waves beat on the
suspicious.
drum,
He
send
stopped at an
vibrations
intersection,
through the body's
put the truck
tiniest
in
bone,
reverse, and
stapes,
backed into the
the size of
undercover
a grain
car,
of rice.
causing the airbags
And nerves send a signal to the brain. Sound. Many body features are not just practical. In some African cultures, they display tribal status. Your lobes become ear loops. Buddha's long lobes signified royalty and spiritual authority. King Midas got his long ears when he objected to Apollo playing the lyre. So he was judged to have the musical taste of a donkey. Ears also keep our balance. Tiny head movement triggers nerve signals to send information about space, motion, and gravity to the brain. So some of us keep our balance, even on a beam. We use balance for the main thing that separates us from our animal ancestors and enables one of the greatest human achievements, standing upright, the spine in a straight line and the head held erect to face the world. The body has 206 bones, more than half in the hands and feet. All are linked by joints and driven by muscles to produce the perfect moving machine. Our bones are incredibly strong. The huge thigh bone, 150 times bigger than the tiny one in the ear, is stronger pound for pound than reinforced concrete. Most of us live in houses far less sturdy than our thigh bone. Yet bones, so essential to our life, are also symbols of death. Another body part is even harder, the part that protects our crucial ability to take a bite. Tooth enamel. So hard that it takes a dentist drill with a straight tip to break through. The powerful skeleton is only 1/6 of the body's weight. Almost half is what drives a set of bones. Muscles, 640 of them, designed to contract and exert pressure. Muscles can achieve extraordinary feats, trained to keep form. When a bodybuilder flexes his muscles, they don't get bigger. They just shorten and swell in the middle, like a long balloon squeezed at each end. But not all muscle work is so obvious. Muscles supply the body's heat. They even help the body stand still. Neck muscles oppose each other perfectly to achieve that crucial human advance, only 8.5 just as the teeth are the body's hardest part, so the muscle that works them, breaking down food for all-important digestion, is the body's most powerful. The jaw exerts a crushing strength of 500 pounds. Muscle and skeleton could not work together without the key link between them. Early hunters discovered as they split animal bone and tore a muscle to get at the rich nutrients that the body had an even tougher part. It was the joints. The mechanisms that enable humans to run, to leap, to twist and turn, converting power and strength into movement and precision. All this, yet only one organ of the body is constantly on show. It's wrapping, providing a permanent waterproof cover. The skin. Made of keratin and covered in fine hairs, it ranges from wafer thin on the eyelids to 5 times as thick on the soles of your feet. And all over, double layer. The epidermis protects the inner dermis with its nerves and blood from water, dirt, the sun's rays, and even microscopic enemies. Typhoid bacteria can survive for many weeks. On the skin, they die in 20 minutes. Skin renews itself constantly. Each surface particle wears away and falls off in a month. So in our lives, each of us sheds about 45 pounds of skin, the weight of a 6-year-old girl. Millions of tons a year.
Breaking news.
And where does it all
Do not
go?
buy new windows if you
We
live
see
in
it every
Michigan.
day.
Homeowners
Yes.
in Michigan living in zip codes starting with 48 and...
But skin doesn't just protect us. When we are cold, tiny hairs on the surface stand on end to trap air and keep us warm. Goosebumps. And when we're too hot, millions of tiny sweat pores release fluid, cooling us down. Skin is the body's outer guard, sensing touch, cold, and pain.
Hey Siri, off.
Hands and feet have tiny ridges, each with their own unique pattern, which help grifting, holding, and getting caught. Hair is also made of keratin. A head of hair is 100,000 strands or so, growing an inch in 3 months. But hair has no feeling. Luckily, otherwise a trip to the hairdresser would be like a dentist visit. And some hairstyles would need a full-scale anesthetic. Hair grooming has always signified wealth, status, or just vanity. But when fighting, long hair can be a liability. So Roman soldiers shaved before battle, and their word barba, or beard, became the word for their hairy enemies, barbarians. Nails are also keratin and grow about half as fast as hair. In 19th century Asia, long nails meant great wealth. Obviously, the owner of a set of these on his fingers certainly couldn't work. The skin is the most pampered part of our bodies because it shows age before anywhere else. By stretching, a tan might look good, but it's disastrous for the skin. Ultraviolet rays quickly break down the skin's crucial middle layer. And not just sun changes the skin's color. Embarrassment can too. Green blood rushing to the surface and causing a blush. Inside the body, the rushing of blood is constant. It's a vast transport system that never stops, carries supplies to the cells that need them. Driven by that strange organ that artists, poets, and dreamers have turned into the symbol of almost every human emotion. The heart. Early scientists thought it was a kind of furnace of blood and air. Some thought it was a fire burning the body's food. It was William Harvey in the 17th century who first realized that blood does not ebb and flow, but keeps circulating, driven by a steady, reliable four-chamber pump that never sleeps, sending blood out through arteries into millions of tiny capillaries, then on into veins that carry the blood on a route back to the heart. This superb pump combines the action of muscle and valves to beat steady, 2,500 million times in a lifetime, moving enough blood to fill the fuel tanks of 700 jumbo jets. If we dive into water, the heart slows down, temporarily reducing our need for oxygen when we have to hold our breath. Some believe this suggests humans originally came from water. But perhaps it is the steady
What did you do?
that has made it a steady symbol through the ages.
I'm just working on dishes.
For Christians, the heart is the source of love, joy, sorrow, compassion, and suffering. Many saints are pictured holding the heart, sometimes pierced by an arrow. The Greek philosopher Aristotle believed the heart was the seat of intelligence. It is best known as the symbol of passion. The Queen of Hearts playing card and the red heart of the Valentine have one and the same message: warmth and love. And always red, the color of blood, of love, and therefore of life itself. Human blood is red because of its high iron content. Though not all creatures are the same, crustaceans and mollusks have blue blood. Worm's blood is green. Some creatures live entirely on blood, others blood. After a good long suck, a leech can inflate to 5 times its normal size. But in medicine, they have a good side. In 1890, the French imported 40 million leeches, and doctors have recently realized leeches have an anti-clotting agent, which reduces the risk of disease by thinning the blood, keeping it flowing.
I think I learned my
The
lesson.
leech is now making a medical comeback.
What?
I never, ever, 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 ever want a kitchen like that again. We're gonna get it all cleaned up.
The circulation
And we're gonna
system
keep it clean.
supplies our bodies
Mhm.
whatever the demand.
I'm gonna get you
So energy
cooking.
needs rise, the heart's pulse quickens to match. Just where does all the energy come from to drive the body?
I think I'm gonna put the dining room table right here.
Plants and meat.
Good?
In the course of a
Mhm.
You can
lifetime,
see the
about
TV?
30 tons.
Mhm.
The weight of
Or under the
30
speed.
cows or 6 elephants. Because the body cannot store energy for long, this intake must be constant.
You like my purple monkey, huh?
Mm-hmm.
We can taste 4 distinct flavors: sour, salt, bitter, and sweet. But our choice is based on appearance and smell. As we decide, the mouth is already making saliva to soften food for chewing and then help us swallow it.
Okay. So this is about the
Saliva
body.
also kills bacteria and keeps the mouth free from infection. We produce a liter a day, 300 bathtubs in a lifetime, enough to fill a small spoon. The stomach is both a food mixer and an acid bath. Its walls produce a spasm every few minutes to squeeze and churn food into a semi-liquid. The workings of the stomach were first studied in 1822 by an American Army surgeon, William Beaumont. A soldier's shot wound refused to heal, and so for the next 10 years, the doctor was able to analyze the contents of the poor man's stomach. From the stomach, food travels on an 18-hour journey through 25 feet of intestines. Their nutrients are absorbed and the waste prepared for disposal. If our intestines weren't rolled up, we would be as tall as houses. Before they're sent around the body, the nutrients are broken down in a process controlled by our most resilient organ, the liver. Up to 80% of it can be cut off, and it will regrow. The But the body's most urgent need is not solid food. Without a drink, we would die within days. Fluids are purified by 2 kidneys, each the size of your fist. They filter more than 2 pints of blood a minute and produce 2.5 pints of urine a day. All these processes of the human machine, breathing, pumping, circulation, purifying, digestion, work 24 hours a day, and they involve every cell in the body. How did the word cell originate? In 1671, a Dutch scientist, Antony van Leeuwenhoek, was examining the skin of an onion under a microscope. The rectangular shapes he saw reminded him of the local monastery and the monks' tiny cells. He realized that all plant and animal life is made up of similar microscopic cells. In fact, the human body has 60 trillion of them. Laid end to end, they stretch from Rome to Bluefields. And all are vulnerable to attack. The food we eat, the fluids we drink, and the air we breathe, the body is constantly bombarded by organisms that can cause illness. So one type of cell is specifically designed to fight back. White blood cells roam the body, killing and eating anything that threatens it. They're minute, but deadly to their enemies.
How do you add beauty to your everyday?
Some cells in the gut live only 3 days, while others in the brain live with their owner an entire lifetime. And millions are dying, born every second. Your finger has more cells than the number of people in the world's largest city. And just as that huge city would be paralyzed without its web of communications, so the human machine is coordinated by a network of its own. Nerves. Like the telephone system, nerve signals are electric. The body has around 30,000 miles of nerve cables, carrying messages and coordinating everything it does. For thousands of years, the Chinese have believed they can control the nervous energy of the body through acupuncture, inserting fine needles into precise parts of the skin to treat different illnesses. And the entire network, in fact the entire body, is run by one small but perfect control center, the brain. In relation to body size, the human brain is the largest of any animal, and it is unique, the only brain in the animal world intelligent enough to study itself. Together with the spinal cord, the brain has more nerve cells than the number of trees in the Amazon rainforest, and as many connections as there are leaves on those trees. So important is the brain to survival that although only 1/50th of the body's weight, it receives 1/5 of its blood supply. The brain is made up of sections with a job to do, each organizing and controlling their own body area. The size of each body part will relate to its controlling area in the brain. We would all look very different. The brain even organizes memories into 3 departments. Those retained for a split second, others kept for around 5 minutes, and the main brain stored for a lifetime. And it constantly saves space by erasing unnecessary words, essential sorting. If we could remember the whole of our lives like we can the last minute or 2, we would get very confused. Given its power, there is little wonder that throughout history, humans have built up superstition, legend, myth, and magic around this massive tissue. Ancient warriors even ate the brains of slaughtered chiefs to gain their wisdom.
And you?
Yep.
It is not the heart, but the brain that dictates our emotions, our consciousness of love, our understanding, our passion, and and the desire for one another that leads to physical bonding. The moment of fertilization between a sperm and an egg that heralds the creation of a new body, a new brain, a new life. Unique among machines, this one can reproduce itself.
You know how to mop a floor?
Yeah.
You? Who taught you that?
No, I don't know how to mop the floor.
Once the floor is all cleared, I'm gonna end up cleaning the floor.
I mean, kind of.
Through nearly a million years,
Sure.
generation after generation, we have
699.
evolved beyond our forebears. We have learned to do more than survive. We have learned to play, to dance, sing, to speak and teach, to reason, to show emotion, and to love. And how do we show these human feelings? Here, in our faces.
You watching two things at
It is
once?
this unique
Yeah.
alliance of brain and body.
You lie.
Expression that makes us different. We can laugh and cry. We are sadness and joy. We are reason and passion. We are
It's over.
Over?
Yep.